What's good, y'all? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today I'm going to hit up Burlington, Buffalo Exchange, and a couple other thrift stores, and hopefully my camera doesn't die so I can capture all of this footage for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it.
For the winner, 'cause you feel like you was losing, only for the winner.
Alright, y'all, so as soon as I walked in, I came across this pair of Nike Frees, and they had the Florida Gators logo on it, and I thought they were kind of dope. I wasn't sure if these were limited or kind of exclusive, so I wanted to do some more research on these, and they had a ton of these in the store. They had like 10 pairs, so I ended up passing on them because the market was kind of flooded on those already. Next was this pair of Ellis sneakers, and Ellis is kind of like a high-end brand. I don't even know how to describe it, but their clothing usually does well, but the shoes not so much. The shoes were sitting in here for 20 bucks. I checked the comps while I was in the store, and they were selling online for like 40. So if you guys see those, definitely pass on them. But in terms of clothing, it's not a bad brand. Now, this was really interesting. I was definitely going to take a chance on these because these just immediately grabbed my attention. I never seen these Air Forces before, but these have like the real tree camo print on them. They, like I said, they were kind of dope. They were priced at 60 bucks, and online I seen some sell for like $140, but that was like a size 14. In terms of smaller sizes, the only comps I was able to see was like $70 to $80. So definitely not enough profit for me in there. And to ship out a pair of shoes that's this size with all that extra stuff on there, it might be a little too expensive. Now, this was a pair of Rockaway boots. I don't know what Rockaway is trying to do. I didn't even know Rockaway still existed, to be honest with you guys. They're making fake Tims. They're making some wax sneakers. Whatever y'all trying to do, y'all just got to start over. So next up was this pair of Sauconys. Sauconys to me are really dope. I usually pick them up if I can find them in the thrift for a decent price. But for 30 bucks, even though they're brand new, it's still not enough profit for me because I believe this colorway in particular just doesn't have a high resale value, but in my opinion, a really nice shoe. Next up was a pair of Polo Ralph Lauren sneakers, and I seen comps online all over the place. I seen some sell for a decent amount of profit, then I seen some sell for like 20 bucks. So usually anytime I come across situations like this, I usually pass on them. But for these shoes, if you really like Ralph Lauren, this would be a nice shoe. But for me, in terms of flipping them, I don't think there's any money to be made there. Drop a comment if you guys think different. Next up was this pair of Adidas. I think these are a pair of Solar Boosts. Whatever it is, I've been seeing these everywhere. So that means the market is completely flooded. Adidas outlets can't get rid of these. Burlington can't get rid of them. Marshalls either. So if you guys see them, definitely pass on them. Don't try to flip it. If you want it for the personal collection, go ahead. Next was a pair of Supergas. Supergas is another brand that I always pick up if I can find it in the thrift in really good condition. $6.99 honestly is thrift store prices, but for some reason these shoes in particular just looked really beat up. I know for a fact somebody wore these because even on the inside it had some signs of wear. And if they're used, Supergas probably can bring you like maybe 30 bucks, sometimes a little more. But for this one, I just wanted to pass on them because for the most part, even though they were only $6.99, they were a little too rough for me, so I had to pass. Now, this was a really dope find. This is a pair of Air Max 720 in the pure platinum satin colorway. It's a mouthful, but these shoes are really dope. I was seeing quite a few of these listed on eBay right now, but I'm still gonna pick these up and see if I can get these flipped. Hopefully, I can get some good profit for those. Now, this was a pair of fake Yeezys, Feezys, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why brands are still even doing this to themselves because Yeezys as a whole, the hype just isn't even there anymore. And for 20 bucks, this was just I don't even know what to say about these. But if you guys see those, definitely don't even try to sell that. Now, here was another shoe that's everywhere. I've been seeing these. These are some Air Max Tailwinds. They were asking $55 for these, and I've been seeing these just about every Burlington I go to, and the market right now is really flooded on those. So if you get those, you might be able to flip them, but for me, since the market is so flooded, I didn't want to take a chance on it. Now, this is something I did want to take a chance on, only because, in my opinion, I thought it was really dope. Drop a comment if you guys pick up New Balances to flip. These are a pair of X Racers, and I don't think there's a ton of money to be made on these, but like I said, I really did like that purple and teal colorway, and a size 8.5 isn't that bad for men's, so I'll take a chance on these. Now, here was another pair of dope Air Forces, and these were for women. And I picked up a pair from Burlington a couple weeks ago, and those already sold for some decent profit. So now I'm always going to make sure I check the women's section. And these say the Force is female, so pretty dope colorway as well. Only downside to these is that this doesn't have that much of a resale value. I've been seeing these sell for like 70 bucks online, so I had to pass on those. Now this one, at first I got excited because I know these shoes sell for some decent profit. I don't remember the exact name of these, but I've checked the comps on this in the past and I was super hype about it. So I was just making sure they were pretty clean. And for 50 bucks, I figured I could get at least $100 for these. So on my way to the register, I just kept just looking at them a little more closely. And as soon as I did get to the register, I realized that there were a couple things missing on these shoes. One of the wrist straps was missing. That there's only one on there. And there's actually supposed to be like some tassels on here to use as like a pull tab. And those were also missing. So for that reason, I had to pass. So now we're in Buffalo Exchange. And of course, I just went straight to the shoes. And these are a pair of Adidas BYWs, and BYWs at this point are all over the place. They even have these on sale, so if you guys see them, I usually pass on them. Here was an older pair of Air Force Ones. Didn't check comps on these either. They were asking 58, and these were a little too beat up for me. So drop a comment if you guys would have picked these up. I didn't even do research, so I'm not sure if I dropped the ball on this, if I should have picked them up, but they were a little too beat up for me, so I passed. And for $58, I think that was just a little too much. Here was another pair of Adidas BYWs, and like I said, they're sitting just about everywhere. And in my opinion, it's a dope shoe, but a lot of people don't like them, and clearly they're not selling that well. So if you guys see them, like I said, pass on those. Now, this was a nice find, and of course, it's in my size, and for only 48 bucks, I definitely got to scoop these up. I don't know how these are going to resell because I've been seeing these in outlets and clearance spots everywhere, so I don't think these might sell for too much money, but in terms of the personal collection, I got to scoop these up. Now, here's something else that I usually see fairly often, a pair of Cortezes. Cortez don't usually sell for a ton of profit. If I can find them in the thrift, I usually always grab them up. But these were practically brand new without the box, but they were asking 35, so I had to pass on those. Here was a really dope pair of Air Max 95s, and I believe these are from the frequency pack, and these have been selling for some decent profit. So for only $38, I'm gonna clean up those light little marks on there, make sure that these look really good, but I'm definitely gonna be scooping these up because for $38, I could easily sell these for about $100 or more. Now, this was another shoe that was in my size, and these are a pair of Air Max 1s with a satin upper, and these were really dope. So I checked the comps on these, and I wasn't really seeing too many sales on these particular ones. I really did like these, and if I wanted these for the personal, I probably would have scooped them up. But as you guys can see, I have enough shoes, and those other shoes, the black and pink 720s, those are probably going to be going home with me anyway, so I had to pass on that, but still a really dope shoe. Now, here's a pair of Reebok pumps, and for those of us that know Reebok pumps, if you find the right colorway, you can sell some for like $200 to $300 if you have the right colorway. But this one in particular, I don't think this one is the one that people are really searching for, and for $34, I don't think I'll probably take those. Here are some Team Jordans. I have to do some research on those because those might actually be worth something. And this one was just a little too beat up, but I feel like these at one point were selling for a ton of profit. Drop a comment if you guys remember. I don't really know if I'm talking about the right shoe, but with this particular Air Force One, I do think these used to sell for some decent profits. So drop a comment if you guys are familiar with that Air Force One. I didn't pick them up because they were a little too beat, but drop a comment, let me know if I was tripping. Here was a pair of Hyper Dunks in a size 9.5, and Hyper Dunks sell for some decent profit sometimes. I don't think this one is the actual one that usually does sell, but I still wanted to check these out. I did run the comps and these wasn't selling too well, so I passed on those. Here was a pair of Asics. I believe these are the Onusika Tiger. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they were brand new with tags, but this one doesn't have a ton of resale value, so I passed. And here was a pair of Reebok Pump Furies, and these were actually done with a collaboration with Black Scale. Drop a comment if you guys used to rock Black Scale back in the day. They were popular when 10 Deep and a lot of those other streetwear brands were really big. And they're on sale, but they're not half off. So when they do finally go half off, I'll probably come back and pick these up and try to flip them. Bruh. Alright y'all, so we are back in the crib, and I'm just going to start off with some of the stuff that I wasn't able to get on camera for you guys, because I did stop into a thrift store really quickly and they didn't have a ton of stuff, but I was able to find some really good pieces. So let's just start off with those. First up was this Arizona State snapback, and this one was brand new with tags. And these type of snapbacks, they don't sell for as much as money as it used to. A few years ago you probably could have got maybe 30 or 40 bucks for something like this, but I paid $2 for this one, and this one should easily sell for about 25 to 30 bucks, and we'll see how long it takes for this one to actually sell. Next up in terms of hat was this super dope and super rare Phoenix Suns hat with Bugs Bunny on it. And I remember when I used to collect snapbacks when I was back in high school and when I first started college, this type of hat was super sought after, and this was like a $200 hat. Now that the hype has kind of died down on snapbacks, this hat still sells for some decent money, somewhere between like 50 to 75 bucks. One did sell not too long ago. I think it was back in December for about 50 bucks. So I'll price mine somewhere around that price point, and we'll see how long it takes to sell. And I also spent about $3 for this hat. And last, in terms of the thrift store finds, with this pair of Nike Shox, and this one was in a size 12, and this colorway was really dope in my opinion. I always sell Nike Shox for at least 60 bucks as long as they're in good condition, and this one should sell for around that same price point. I'm thinking maybe $75 or $80 for this one. I didn't run any comps whatsoever yet, but I always know that Nike Shox always do pretty well for me. So if you guys come across Nike Shox, as long as they're in good condition, always take a chance on it. Alright y'all, moving right along in terms of the Burlington finds. This was a pair of Nike Air 720s, and I believe this is the 720 Saturn. These were really dope in my opinion, my size, but of course I'm always just trying to get that cash. And sometimes, as you guys know, sometimes I do keep some stuff, but this one in particular, it has been selling for about 100 to 110 on eBay, so I'll put it up on there and we'll see how long it takes to sell. And last for the Burlington finds is a pair of New Balance X Racers, and to be honest with you guys, I just really thought these shoes were dope. The comps on these were somewhere between like 75 and 80 bucks, and I spent 35 on these. So if I get 75, maybe 80, I'll definitely be happy with that return. Might sit for a while, but these shoes to me were really dope, so I had to take a chance on it. And moving along to the Buffalo Exchange finds, this was a dope pair of black and yellow Air Max 95s, and I checked the comps and these were selling for about 100 to 120 bucks on eBay, so I'll put it up on there. And as you guys know, if you're selling shoes on eBay for more than 100 bucks, you don't have to pay any seller fees. However, you do have to pay that PayPal fee, but that's only like 3%. So this should definitely be selling on eBay. I might put it up on Poshmark as well just to see if I get any interest, but something like this, I'll be happy when it sells on eBay. And last but not least, like I told you guys before, sometimes I do keep some shoes, and I picked this one up from Buffalo Exchange, and the price on this was 48 bucks. And I really do like Air Max 720s. There's a ton of different colors on this, and they're actually starting to hit a lot of clearance shelves, especially a lot of different outlets. But for me, I'll definitely hold on to these for a little while, rock them to the gym, and I'll probably eventually sell them. And whenever I do sell them, I'll probably get somewhere between maybe 70 and 80 bucks, maybe a little less by the time I finally do sell them. But as you guys seen, these were in really good condition. Whoever wore these probably wore them once, and I already wore these to the gym once myself. So as you guys know, I'm gonna hold on to these for a little while. Alright y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit.